Yes, so Monday motivation. Although I need to change the name because I think motivation isn't really fitting for my beliefs and stuff like that. The word motivation, but maybe Monday mindset, something along those lines. I'm gonna do these now by actually talking about things that I'm learning and as I'm going through them and things that I'm processing and new strategies I'm gonna implement. I think that's the best way rather than to come from an angle of I know everything. This is what you should do. I'm gonna talk more from my own experience. So the lesson that has come to me that I'm about to implement, right, is when we go online and we are trying to better ourselves and we're trying to, you know, reach the new version of ourselves or be the 2.0, I'm trying to be the 2.0 Michael. So I consume a lot of content that is like motivational, by nature, where, it's just all this self development. That's it, really and truly. Self development, right? And self development is really powerful. Don't get me wrong. Self development has changed my life. So when we talk about just reading and trying to, you know, starve yourself from all distractions, addictions, and discipline and everything like that. And I'm someone that I will go for a long period of time with just in a disciplined state, right? Like in a disciplined state. I think for the better half of this year, there's so many little things I've done. I've meditated for like the half of the year for every single day. I think the last few days I haven't actually meditated, which I'll explain in a second. I think the first 4 months or 5 months, I didn't touch a snack, like not a chocolate bar, a crisp, a sweet, anything. And little things like that. Do you know what I mean? Little things like that. I did about, I want to say 60 days worth of like skipping every single day without fail. Like end of the day, go hit the shed, do some skipping, like 1,000 skips. You know what I mean? So little things like that. I'm always big on these bursts of discipline. But the problem is, I do have these sort of crashes because I think personally, from my experience, that we have so much discipline, self development, and just focus time within us until we begin to. It turns to a case of like, you kind of wonder why you're doing it. You kind of wonder why you're doing it, and you have to remember sometimes that when you're doing that discipline and you get sucked into that discipline hole and that rabbit hole of just like look this, everything this, like just starve yourself of any type of distractions, any type of fun. Some people might even go as far to say, right? You got to realize when you do that you're gonna it doesn't necessarily equal more output. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's people that like literally will not be as disciplined, will not do all the working out, the training, the reading, the this, and will see more success than you. That's the truth of the matter, right? Now, why is that? It's because it's not like success is not directly correlated to just how much you work. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean just like how much you work, how disciplined you are. That's not the correlation. It's a lot of brain. It's a lot of thinking your way into things. It's a lot of good decisions. It's a lot of learning from someone who's done it already. It's a lot of avoiding sort of mistakes. It's a more strategic thing than that, right? And hard work always comes into play. Whether you're doing the hard work or somebody's doing hard work for you, hard work's always going to come into play. But it's not a direct output from that input of just pure discipline, pure focus, pure work. Although the pure discipline, the pure work will always leave you in a better place. So what's the compromise then? Where do I meet in the middle? For me, what I'm planning to do something I heard Iman Gadzia, if that's how you say his name, I heard him talk about it before, and it didn't connect with me at the time because it's like meditation. If you talk to a yogi, if you talk to a yoga, teacher or anyone, right? If you talk to anyone who is big on meditation, right? Someone who teaches it, whether it's a Buddhist, a yogi, a lot of these people will meditate for like 30 minutes, 1 hour, like literally do long periods of meditation. So to someone who's not meditated longer than 30 minutes or never even meditated, that the thought of that is not appealing because you haven't done that before. It's a bit extreme for you. You've already got like your feelings towards it, right? So it's the same thing that happened when I heard this talk from Imran Gadzhi about something called monk mode, where it's like you go through periods of literally no in like just super focused. You know what I mean? You're not really going out, you're not really partying, you're not really scrolling, you're not really doing like you're just super focused. And then you have a period where you like unwind, you know what I mean? You relax, you party, you enjoy your life, you understand? So I think especially the time frames where he talked about, because he talked about doing a monk mode for, he said like 8 weeks or something like that, 8 weeks or 12 weeks. And then the party thing was like 2 weeks. I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get it at the time. Now I get it because what I will do is I'll endlessly dive in. I'm just gonna check if it's visible. How far am I up to this? Probably all right. Yeah. So I didn't even get it. Um, but I'm the type that I would dive all in to like the discipline, right? So I'll just go all in, guns blazing, and like I'm just gonna focus. I'm just gonna, cut off all distractions. I'm gonna go hard. But what I always need to remember is that I'm a human being. We're humans, right? So there's yin and yang to everything. Do you know what I mean? It don't mean like I've got to go do a madness and go snort cocaine and do all this craziness, right? To enjoy myself every so often. But what it does mean is that you're gonna your tank, like the battery, the charge for being so disciplined, is gonna wear out if there's no fun, if there's no balance, if there's no whatever, right? But there's times where you're gonna need to starve yourself because a lot of these things that we consider fun, whether it means going out partying, drinking, eating shitty food, going out meeting people regularly, a lot of the things that come with this become addictive, even down to like sugar. Like I cut off sugar intake for a long period of time. A lot of these things are addictive. So if you try to just blend them in, because this is what a lot of people do, this is where I think it can keep most people stuck, is that a lot of people just try to blend it in, right? Like, no, I don't need to cut this off. I can eat sugar any day. I can do this any day. And then that's what leads to people being fat. You understand? Because you can't just pull it in. You can't just have sugar every day. Some people argue it, but generally, like most people, you just get addicted. You know what I mean? A lot of people get addicted, and it is most people because the only people that say, "Oh, you can eat sugar every day and still do that," it's the fitness trainers who are looking lean and fucking great. Do you know what I mean? But those aren't everybody. The everybody is the majority, and we just heard the other day that a majority of people are obese, right? Even though that's been the case for a long time, but like it was over 1 billion or so people in the world are considered obese. So clearly, it's not working for most people. You can't just mix in, the bad with the good. But what I believe will work, and I'm going to be doing, is strong periods of focus, whether it be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm going to decide that, and then planning a week of non-focus. It's something I've actually dabbled with before, but I didn't hold to it. So I'm going to hold to it now, design it, and say, all right, cool. I'm going to go hard. I've actually got a holiday next week, so I'm in Thailand at the moment, but I've been working. So I'm actually going to take a proper holiday. I'm going to go to a different part of Thailand, Koh Samui. So I'm going to take that holiday, and then I'm going to be able to say, all right, cool. Now we're going to do another 4 weeks or 5 weeks, just looking at my calendar and see what have I got coming up and say, all right, we're going to do 5 weeks of pure focus, discipline. And then before we do another week of a relax. And that is how I believe I'm going to get the best output from myself rather than just going endlessly, and the thing is, some people promote that. A lot of people do promote that. And it's like, I hear it. And there's some things I'm going to stay disciplined with like for as long as I possibly can, right? Like training, um, eating good, these things I'm still gonna maintain a good level of discipline for these things continuously. But I mean just like being able to relax, not working from night till day, not going, do you know what I mean? Not saying I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do anything. Like just having a week or so or two where you just unwind. So that's my Monday reveal. That's me giving you a bit insight into me, into my world. And rather than just telling you what not to do, that's me kind of showing you a lesson I've learned and what I'm going to be doing. All right. Peace and love, love and peace. I'll be back next Monday.